Hey everyone, welcome back to EverQuest, the Hero's Journey. We're here on the level 65 Shadowknight Rogue Shaman. We've got 2,845 AA points spent with 7 saved. We are in the Plane of Tranquility, right outside the Plane of Water. And today we're going to work on continuing our Planes of Power progression. Plane of Water is the third of 4 elemental plane steps needed to get access to the Plane of Time. We've already done Plane of Fire and Plane of Air. So Plane of Water is next. To zone in, let me show the map here. Where are we here? We're kind of southwest portion of Plane of Tranquility. Let me see if I can hide some of that stuff. So you would pop in from the Plane of Knowledge over here, hop outside the little building, and run southwest. And we are here, kind of up on a little hill. You can see the little windmill over there where the Plane of Tranquility, or not Plane of Innovation zone in is, and then behind us over here is Plane of Storms, Bastion of Thunder. So we're kind of up on a hill here. To zone in, you just click the little water fountain thing. I did come in here yesterday and today, and I was just doing a respawning instance. We're going to start a non-respawning instance to do the Cornav event, which ends in Cornav, I think it's the Avatar of Water or something, and he's the final boss of the Plane of Water. So we're going to do non-respawning and tell him we're ready. I've got some changes with the character to talk about, but let's get going here. I hit my clicky buff button there. I guess very first change is I changed which buffs I'm using for the clicky a little bit. Instead of using my Sword of Pain for the Grim Aura clicky buff, I swapped in my Blazing Vambraces for the damage shield and fire resist buff. No, Plane of Water don't need the fire resist, but damage shield is nice. I'm using Illusion Fire Elemental. I'm using Aura of Battle from the Fearsome Shield, and I'm using what do we got here? Chromatic Chaos, which is hit point regen, damage shield, and attack buff all in one. So those are kind of the instant type cast buffs that I'm using in my first 4 slots, and then I've got my item buffs hotkey, which clicks stuff in my bags. So I hit that. That runs through the 5 here. So we've got the John's Bone Breastplate that does Shield of Brambles. We've got the Gloves of Crimson Sigil, which does Call of Fire. We've got Stanos' Wicked Breastplate, which does Shield of the Arcane. We've got the Vengeful Mail of the Void, which does Heart of the Void. And then we've got the Torque of the Worm Lord, which does Invigoration of Rhyton. Just yesterday was the first time I zoned into this zone in, ever. Not ever, but like a very long time, 25 years. I don't remember exactly, but I never spent a lot of time here. And when I did, I was playing a cleric. So I didn't really get to see much. It was more just like staring at heal bars, like health of the party or raid. but I was concerned that I would be like annoyed by this zone, but in the time I've spent here yesterday, today, I don't mind it. The A experience is nice. The music in the zone is very soothing. Um, so yeah, I spent some time here. Um, I was mostly killing the named stuff or the placeholders for the named stuff, and I'll show you some of the stuff I got in a minute. Looks like we got a named here, Razorfin. And actually, this might be a name too. Oh yeah, Monstrous Sea Turtle, that's a name too. These are the 10-minute, 40-second respawn named guys. So they show up in the respawning instance. What did we get? We got a Shield of Coral, clickable Evacuate, Druid Shield, and Coral Shard, clickable Minor Illusion for the Enchanter. I'm going to stealth. Let me turn on this so I can see the mob, see if there's any. I see a red con over here, so we're going to go hit that up. Named mob over there. What are we looking for? This guy. Griohian the Wise? He's got some hit points on him for sure. Looks like we got a bunch of ads too. So in my previous episode, I think 2 episodes ago, we did the Plane of Fire. We killed Fen and Ro, Tyrant of Fire, and we got, or actually I don't know if it was the first kill, but I went back and I killed him again, and I got what I thought was a good rogue dagger off of him. I had a nice direct damage proc, had a backstab modifier on it. This is taking a bit longer than I would like. Looks like he's stunned. He's doing a stun or something. I don't know. I don't know how he's stunning me. Like, I don't see a spell effect on me. I don't see anything landing, but I seem to be getting stunned here. So the dagger off of Fen and Ro, I stuck in my power-up slot. I leveled up to legendary, and I was using it in my offhand, like my Rylokar's dagger, which I'm using now. And the only change I made was I put that dagger in my offhand instead of my Rylokar's dagger. I was still using my Shadowknight epic in the primary hand, but I started getting the chat message about your backstabs are less successful because of your unconventional weapon. Hang on, pet Shaman health here. So right here, this thing. My Shaman pet is currently using this in his offhand. So the mechanic that they put in for rogue backstab, it seems like it uses the best like damage weapon to calculate the backstab or to like perform the backstab. And with the Mario Kart's dagger, what the only thing that makes sense to me is why this is not giving that message about like unconventional weapon is that if you look at the backstab damage, 60, base damage 30, so like 90 if you add those together. 90 would be the air quote damage it uses to calculate what the backstab damage will be. And if you look at my main hand, it has a base damage of 80. But if I equip this thing in my offhand, even though it's a dagger, it seems like it's only attempting to use 36 damage as the backstab, like calculator. So it's not doing that, and instead it's attempting or is using my main hand, which is the inner curse 80 damage. So net loss on backstab damage if I equip that dagger in my offhand, because it doesn't have an actual backstab damage like stat on it. So yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I was kind of disappointed, but I'm still doing fine damage wise, so no big deal. Let's see, let's take another peek at the map. Okay, this area, this is like a lower level area. You can see like up here is like red cons, yellow cons. The red cons are going to be named mobs. When I first came in yesterday, I was killing stuff in this area, just kind of making the circle. Here, hang on, let me turn this on. Yeah, this one will show you like where the named stuff spawns. Looks like over here there might be a named mob. I guess we'll go get it. It's yellow. I probably don't need what it has, but we'll go after it. Is that that's the sharks. Ferocious, or no, it's just called Hammertooth. So yeah, that was a disappointing but enlightening revelation about rogue backstab and like which weapon to use, or like how the backstab damage is decided. Yeah, my one complaint about this zone is like the z-axis, like up, like you know, height. Things can get like above you, and it makes it hard to kill them or hit them. So you have to kind of level yourself with them, or like I guess you could try to look up, and maybe you could hit them like that. Okay, what's he got? Enchanted coral-headed mace, so cleric mace with the hand of the gods proc. Random 75 to 150 damage. The nice thing about these maces, the cleric ones, is they have a high proc rate. You see the proc modifier is 540, which is very high. It's like almost every swing. Whereas like a regular weapon like this one has a proc mod of 70, which is high for a one-hander, because it's really a two-hander that it was changed into a one-hander. Like regular one-handers, typically a legendary, I believe, have a 20 proc mod. So the time I spent here yesterday, today, in the respawning instance, I got a handful of weapons and decked out my pets a bit. And I'll show you that in a minute. We're going to try to move things along, get to where we need to go. I spent a little bit of time out in this area. Oh, I see another named over there. Should we go get him? Sure. I'm just looking at the yellow on the map. It stands out. So in that area, which is generally level 65 or below, if you see something yellow or red. It's going to be a named. Where go this way, I guess. I think it's unnamed. Yeah, an enormous frog. I think that's got to be unnamed. Where is he? Where is he? He's swimming around pretty good. Come here, buddy. One important note about this room right here is the frogs drop, can drop, um, something that's needed for the plane of time key. So if you're making your way through planes of power progression, you'll probably have to make a stop, kill some frogs. I've only gotten one of the items. Oh, okay, never mind. That was it. Oil of a frog. Um, that's one of the things that's needed. I only had one done here, but you know, I guess we just got four. Maybe the big named frog is that's what he drops or something. Here, what else have we got? I think we got some Druid Monk Beast leggings. Is that what he dropped? I don't know. Maybe he just drops a bunch of the frog stuff for the Planes of Power, the Plane of Time thing. All right, moving on. Here we're going to go down the tunnel. This brings you to the higher level area. These things are annoying. They're like really big. I feel like way too big for this zone for these tunnels, and they just take up a lot of space. You can't see much when they're attacking you or swimming around. Okay. I see this guy over here. He is a raid guy. Does not spawn in the respawning instance, so we'll kill him or try to kill him. I don't know what he does, how hard he hits. Maybe he'll kill us. Definitely a lot of hit points. Elemental Vambrace mold. Okay, actually that. Did we already get those? Yeah, I think Grimoires is the elemental. So we might have already picked those up in the plane of fire. Alright, so I see two named mobs, one over here and one over here. These little side rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you come in here in a respawning instance, you can just kind of make the circle, clear out the side rooms, make the circle, clear out the side rooms. There's like 5, 4, 6, I don't know, mobs per room. And I think a named can spawn in each of the rooms. The good ones are this room here, and then this one over here. We'll go, where are we? Here. The stuff that drops in those rooms is useful. I guess it depends on what classes you're playing, but useful for me. Yeah, we don't need to kill that. Do this one here. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got. This thing, Opalescent, C-Scale. Not the first time I've seen it. Cleric Druid Shaman range slot. It's like a spell haste, beneficial spell haste on it. We'll go, okay, that was east. Go down here, circle around. The Regrua, the crab guys, are that spawn in this room and in this room, can drop Celt handled hilted mace or something, and coral hilted talwar. And this is one of the named guys that can drop those things. And both of them are quite good, depending on your class combo or how you want to use them. Hang on. I'm trying to keep things moving along. I don't want to try not to like stop and like display gear and stuff. I will. I'm just trying to pay attention to get this stuff dead. Huh. Kizik the Mighty. I did not. I don't. Did he just? Maybe I missed that he was there, or us killing something triggered him. Let's get a Melos on him. Did that land? No. Another downside to being in water is, anything with like a longer cast time, you might get moved a little bit when you're being hit, and then the cast never completes. So, all right, let's throw some dots on him, and then we'll just go auto attack, and I'll. So pet, health. So, I was talking about these crab guys and what they drop. They drop these things. Oh wait, no, wrong one. Chat's going by too fast for me to click. Kelp hilted mace. Now it is pure caster mace, but usable by my pets since they really don't care about class. So both of my pets are using a legendary version of the Kelp Hilted Mace. The nice thing about that is a 450 direct damage proc Lotus Spines with negative 300 disease resist check, so highly difficult to resist, and has a proc modifier of 90, which is, like I was saying earlier, much higher than a regular one-hand weapon. Since this is a caster weapon, it's generally not meant for like, melee, or casters aren't traditionally known for their melee, so it made sense to like increase the proc rate on it. But got that on the wolf pet and the Shadowknight pet. Hang on, where to go? High base damage, 120 base damage. A slow delay, 40, but still 30 DPS, like base DPS, which is very good. And then the 450 direct damage proc, which is then amplified by spell damage. So when my pets crit, I'm trying to see if I see one in the chat log here. It's like close to 2k damage when they crit with it. Curse, Bane of Knife. Yeah, I don't know. Unless I missed it, I didn't see a crit in the chat log, but it procs a lot, and it crits for a lot when it does crit. Lotus Spines right there. So there's a regular hit. Um, Shaman pet crit 790, like non-crit. Um, so my overall damage output has gone up thanks to that. Like I said, basically I was just floating back, like making a circle in this area here. I'll try to do, I can't really. This room here and this room over here, named crab guys spawn that can drop those maces. And they also drop this thing, which we just got, the Coral Hilted Talwar, and I got a legendary one for myself. Um, I intend to pick up or try to get 2 more legendary ones for my pets, because if I'm wielding a legendary one and my pets are wielding a legendary one, the delay on these is nuts. For a two-hander, 25 delay. They also have the increased proc rate modifier, so 70, not quite as high as the one-hander that they're using now, but 350 direct damage, point blank AoE. So yeah, similar to the Earthshaker I was using before, for like if I like to pull large packs of mobs to AoE down, but better, uh, faster. I mean, like lower delay on it, um, slightly more damage on the point blank AoE proc, and just great stats. Like look at this thing, like. Now I've kind of got it beefed up a little bit with some Augs I got in there. Hang on, I'm gonna throw my damage weapons there. But yeah, quite good. 81 base damage, 25 delay, and it's got that 70 proc mod on it, and 350 direct damage, point blank AoE. So I figure it'd be fun if I got that for me and one for each of my pets, and then see what we can do with pulling like giant packs of mobs. That might be fun sometime. All right. I see a guy over here. It looks like. Or wait, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sneak, hide. Okay. Yeah. One thing I've noticed here is the aggro radius is pretty low. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm right next to this guy, and he doesn't care. Like in other places, if you get this close to stuff, they're gonna come at you. But, I don't know. Not here. Let's try to get this named over here. Where is he? Oh, he's a big guy. All right. He is, as far as I know, one of the long respawn time guys that only shows up in the open world or the non-respawning instance. If you're hearing any thunder, we're about to get a thunderstorm here, so I apologize. One other thing I wanted to mention that I don't know, I feel like I realized it before, but it kind of thought about it a little more, is weapon procs and weapon augments, specifically weapon augments that add a proc to a weapon. From what I can tell, a weapon can only, like the weapon itself, can only proc once per swing or round or whatever you want to call it. And so if you add a proc to a weapon that already has a proc, you are kind of distilling that proc because you're throwing another proc in there that then the weapon like cycles between. Like I don't know how it decides, maybe it's random, like how it decides which proc to use. For example, on this one, the Inarch's Curse has a proc just by default of soul consumption, and that's applies damage over time on the target, and then applies a buff to me that does it kind of like siphons health from them and gives it to me, although it's not equal. So it does a dot on them and a heal over time for me. But I have a blackened lava rock on here, which does direct damage. So when I swing with this weapon, I guess the game, rolls and decides if the weapon's going to proc. And then it does some type of internal thing where it decides which proc it's going to apply or use. So you can't have both the direct damage proc and the dot proc go off on the same swing. Um, I left that like that purposely because I don't need the dot to go off all that often. It's like I don't know how long, close to a minute in duration, and I don't need like 100% uptime. So yeah, but if you look at my offhand, I took the direct damage proc off of my offhand and actually put this on there, the fire damage Saru AUG on there. And I did the same thing for my pet's weapons, pet health, so you can see what they're using. So the kelp hilted mace, you see I only have like stat augments on there. I don't have, even in the weapon augment slot, I don't have a augment that does a proc because I don't want to distill that 450 damage proc, which is like you can't beat that really, especially with like a vendor purchased augment, which is like 70 damage. Why would I want that? Why would I want a chance to do 70 damage instead of 450 damage? If the weapon procs, I wanted to do that 450 damage proc. Same thing with the Shadowknight pet. He's got the Kelp-hilted Mace legendary and just you know stuff like stat augments in it. I realized for a while I was hindering myself because the wolf pet, the shaman pet, I had given him a mask with like it was a good mask, like 30 spell damage, stats, like yeah, it was good. Um, and then I it didn't occur to me that I had already given him or this summoned muzzle of Mardu, which has haste on it, like it's Warren haste. But the important thing is the 50% spell damage mitigation. So he was not getting that. He was not basically not using the muzzle because he had another mask in the pet bag. So watch out for that. Like make sure you're not overlapping like item slots on pet gear. Um, yeah. So I put just a chest piece on him that I had in the bank and threw some Augs on it just to give him some more stats and spell damage and stuff. All right. All right. I think we're getting closer to where we need to be. It looks like this is the Cornav area. I don't remember how to like. Oh yeah, okay. You gotta kill the Guardian guy over there to start the air quote ring event. Ring event meaning like you know a guy or guys spawn, you kill them, and then more more spawns. Like staggered, either based on time or I don't know exactly. But there's like waves of mobs you have to kill, including like bosses, and I think there's like 4 waves. Let me clear this stuff out just so it doesn't get in the way. I would use my coral hilted Tawar, the two-hander with the AE proc, but the AE proc is not super useful in this zone because it's cold based and pretty much everything here has super high cold resist, so um, really not gonna hit anything if it does proc. What is this thing? Where is it? Is it like inside this pillar? Okay. We just got a Khazard's Mark cleric hit point buff from our animated corpse pet. So uh, one more benefit of the Shadowknight Shadow Curse AA, which they've finally fixed. I think I mentioned it no longer the pets no longer keep you in combat um, when you're out of combat when they die. So that's nice. And they do their thing. So like they buff themselves, and if they buff themselves and they're using group buffs, then you get those buffs. Maybe even my pets. Yeah. So Khazard's Mark, I think, is a group hit point buff, and this animated corpse pet decided to buff himself, and then that applied to me and my pets as well. So we got some extra hit points here. Alright, we're gonna pull this guy. Take him out. Believe killing him starts the event. And then I think that thing in there, the big octopus looking thing, is the is Cornav. Okay, yeah, so we got a bunch of like ads in there that we're gonna have to kill. And this guy, I'll throw a disease cloud on him and see what we get. Really? We just got him basically? Come here. Come here. Okay. We got one ad out of all of those? How? Okay. Tons of hit points on this guy, man. Something crippled him. Like I don't have cripple up, so it must have been one of my pets that put cripple on him. So that was nice. Aside from keeping my dots up, which are fading, I'm really not doing anything. I'm just auto attacking. The dots are really just to speed things along. I feel like my life tab procs would sustain me, and I could probably just go AFK until he's dead. Wow, that guy had a lot of hit points. So I see some other red cons up, at least 2 more. I don't know if we gotta kill these, like, these guys. And if I do pull them... Elemental Chain Bracer pattern. If I do pull them, I don't want my... pets to go in. Although, okay, so since I don't have a swarm pet, they're not like they're not gonna hold things up. All right, go like this. See what we get. Man, yeah, these are nothing. All right, grab some more. I don't even know if I need to kill these things. They seem to be coming in packs of 3. We're gonna have a little army by the time we where, okay, let's see here. Let's see. Do they not even aggro? Weird. Okay. I just assumed they would want to attack me. They are... It says ready to attack, but how come they're not attacking me? I don't know. Like, even this guy doesn't... It says ready to attack, right? Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna swim around and smoke these guys, I guess. Oh, okay. Well, we got 2 bosses now. Maybe that was a bad move. We'll go Rabbit Bear. Ancestral Aid until we get things under control here, hopefully. Turn on attack. This guy. Low, slow him. Okay. Good. Get some dots on him. Okay. Back to this guy. Good. see if I can pull these guys over here, maybe, just in case the main boss like activates and we're not ready or something. In my AA spending, I picked up forage. So now I have a forage skill of like 50 or whatever from the AA forage ability. I also spent some AAs on like trade skill stuff. Um, Eventually, I intend to get my trade skills up to 220 across the board, so we can do the A Grimmel quest in the Plane of Knowledge, which I think is he'll only give it to you if all your trade skills are 220 or above or something. Results in an earring, the Signet of Might, I think it's called, which is like one of the best earrings in the game. And I heard potentially one of the best earrings in the game for a couple expansions, like through Gates of Discord and Omens of War or something like that. So it'd be worth picking up. Um, if we can. It takes a lot of work just to get the trade skills that high, and then I don't know what the quest involves. So I don't think I've had a fight last this long in a long time. Uh, Emperor in the Shra Temple comes to mind. Let's hit Canny. We're getting a little bit lower on mana. Throw some more dots on this guy. Okay. Well, it's been at least 5 minutes since we engaged, since Rabbit Bear is down. We got 2 minutes-ish left on the cooldown for that one. Then we can use it again. one of them down. So that's the second named mob. I think there's 4 of them, but I'm not sure. I could be doing more damage if I was using Thief's Vengeance, but in order to use Thief's Vengeance, I have to have a free buff slot. And I do not have that. So I'd have to pick something to click off. I don't know what I would want to click off. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe my damage shields? Sure. That's one of the gripes I have with their change to Thief's Vengeance. It now chews up a elemental bracer mold there. Now chews up a buff slot, or has for a while. It used to just be, it would show up here in the combat ability window. Similar to disciplines. It would give you a little like bar that counts down to show you how long is left on it. Alright. Kill some more stuff. Get those ones maybe. Okay. Didn't we just kill those guys? Now we gotta kill them again? It seems like maybe these are lesser versions of them or something. I don't know. They definitely don't have as many hit points. Alright. Looks like he is active now. Hang on a second. Sneak. Try to sneak behind him. Alright. See if we can get a Malo on him to start the fight. Okay, good. Oh boy. He's got less hit points than those guys we killed. Alright, I'll go Rabid Bear, Duelist Discipline, Radiant Cure. Yeah. He's dead. Alright, we got our Sphere of Coalesced Water right there to go along with our fire air element thingies that we need. We got some loot here. What do we get? Leather pants, shark bone plated shoulder pads. Was that? Not sure if I showed these. I did upgrade these through the power up slot. Replaced the shoulders I was wearing from the Temple of Vishan quests. So I don't know. I'll have to look at what is this focus effect. Preservation of Seleucic mana cost detrimental spells. Huh. That might be good. Like 20% decreased cost on dots. That might be. Yeah, those look really good. Like really good. I'll have to make sure we upgrade those and put them on. We got Hammer of Crashing Waves. Looks like a 220 damage ice-based proc. And then we got Essence of Water to go along with our Essence of Fire and Wind. Now I think these essences are used in that the Aid Grimmel quest that I was talking about with the earring, the very good like Signet of Might or whatever it's called earring. Alright, I'll collect my spoils from killing these guys. Alright, so that was not too bad. That was nowhere near like Plane of Air. The whole key situation with Zaganese Island and Plane of Air, that was very tedious. And we're at roughly an hour here on the video, and that was, you know, including some stops just to kill some random named mobs that we saw on the map. Elemental Chain Bracer, Silk Bracer. Alright, I think we cleared everything out. Yeah, I don't see anything up in this area. And I don't see any other named mobs up that would be worth going after. Cool. So that's Plane of Water and Cornav. Not too bad. The mini bosses that come before Cornav had a ton of hit points. Arguably more difficult than Cornav himself or herself. I don't know what to call Cornav itself. But success. Next time we will look into doing Plane of Earth, I think. I think that one's going to be a little more involved. There's like 2 parts to Plane of Earth. There's Plane of Earth A and B, and I think you need to do A to get the key to get into B, and then B has the Wrath Council that, yeah, that you need to kill to like actually get the item you need to get into the plane of time. Um, but that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching, as always. For the newer subscribers out there, I see you. I appreciate you. Chris, yeah, you. James, yep, you too. Thanks, guys. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Um, Anybody that's watching, feel free to drop a comment. I appreciate the likes, the thumbs ups, the subscribes, obviously. That makes me happy knowing that people are watching, hopefully enjoying the videos. If I say anything that is wrong, feel free to correct me, throw a comment on the video. I'm no expert. I just kind of try and figure things out, look things up myself, and maybe ask around and share what I find. So, yeah, that's all I got. So, until next time, take care.